Hey everybody, Emer Pursuit. There's another edition of the Fighting Peaches as Georgia Tech volleyball begins the start of its 2021 campaign. We were able to catch up with head coach Michelle Collier and some players previewing this upcoming season. As always, follow everything that we're doing. Head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can go on there right now and see Georgia State stuff as well. This is Fighting Peaches, so yeah, we'll promote Georgia State as well. We were able to speak with several people from Georgia State with their soccer season starting up. We were able to catch up with Brett Cernsey, the head coach of the men's soccer team, as well as men's soccer player Matt Friendly. We were able also to catch up with Georgia State women's soccer with Ed Joyce and Anna Diaz. Ed Joyce, the head coach, Anna Diaz, the sophomore midfielder for the team. Those full interviews are up on the site, so make sure you go and check those out. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook under Sports Inquirer. That's all one word. And then finally, you can head over to our audio and video content providers on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and others. Wherever you get your content, just do a search for us, and you'll be able to find everything that we have going on. Yeah, Georgia Tech opens up its season August 27th against nationally ranked Penn State at the UCF Challenge in Orlando, Florida. They're also going to face the host Central Florida and St. John's in that tournament. So the Yellow Jackets come off a very strong last season. We'll be back at before we break down last season and get into the nuts and bolts of this 2021 campaign. Here is head coach Michelle Collier on the preseason.
And I think that we have had a great preseason. We're getting better. Um, and it's all because of the foundation that they were able to do in the summer, and in the summer it's all on them. And so it was really nice to have that leadership and that commitment to continuing to get better and to help the new players just kind of hit the ground running. So I think that the new players did a great job and the returning players did a great job. So it's always fun for our coach when players kind of commit to that level of accountability and the things that they really want to get better and they want to be good at what they're doing. And so it definitely showed up in preseason when we all returned that we had good team chemistry. Um, I think that the new players came in really well with the drills and the things that we were doing and what we were asking of them. And the returners did a really good job of that as well. So I mean, it was exciting. We still got a couple more days here to try to continue to get better, and also use this preseason to get ready to conference play.
And Georgia Tech had its most successful season under Michelle this past year. And it was just interesting because it was over 2 calendar years. Remember, they started off the fall of 2020 like a normal traditional season, but with everything going on with the pandemic and other things going on, they split the seasons into two. So you had a first half of the year, the fall of 2020, and then it transitioned over into the spring of 2021. So when I speak on some things, it was over 2 calendar years. But one season it was, at least on the court. Georgia Tech finished the season last year with an overall record of 14-5, 13-4 in ACC play. They advanced to the second round of the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2004 and won their first NCAA tournament game. It was against Lipscomb in 21 years. So that was a very big moment for the Georgia Tech program. It was the 10th time they were in the NCAA tournament in program history and the first time since 2009. And more importantly, for current reference, it was the first tournament appearance for the Yellow Jackets under head coach Michelle Collier. So the Yellow Jackets had a very strong season, but it was also a short off season, as I mentioned, due to the pandemic. Normally, you have a fall season and you take some time off and you play a handful of contests in the spring exhibitions, and then you have your off season. Well, this year, with everything that was going on, they had a fall 2020. Then they took some about a month and a half off, and then had the start of the second half of the season in the spring of 2021. They played their matches, won the NCAA tournament, and everything like that. But it led to a short off season. I asked Coach Collier about this short offseason and how it impacted their preparations for the fall 2021 campaign.
Yeah, I mean, I think every team in the country is probably dealing with everything that we're dealing with as well. I mean, obviously the ACC played fall and spring, um, so that was a little bit more on the kids. But I think that again, from our strength coach to our trainer to our doctors here and to our players, everybody has been done everything that they can to really put their bodies in the best position possible. Obviously, we still have some aches and pains and things like that, but knock on wood, nothing super serious that are going to keep people off the floor. But we do also have a lot more depth than we always had. So, there's a lot of opportunities there as well, depending on how things go. But as always, we're going to do what it takes to win every single match, and we'll take it one match at a time. But we're hoping to be full force on Friday.
And the team came back with the good news is for Georgia Tech is they bring a lot of players back, virtually their entire starting lineup, which we'll break down individually by position. But here is Michelle on the veteran roster that the team has.
For sure. I mean, it's nice to return some experience. I think that they understand what we're doing in the gym, but our job is to keep making our gym better. And I think that our incoming class are definitely challenging the returners, and so I think it's the most depth that we have had in our gym, and competition within positions. And so it's been really good. I think that, we got 18 players who can all be on the floor and contribute and impact at our level. So it's been really fun to see that. I think that our upperclassmen did a tremendous job this summer with our incoming players and onboarding them into our culture. And, I think that our strength coach did a great job with them. They, of course, did a great job of committing to each other and to the program and doing the things that they could be doing, getting themselves in the gym, getting in the weight room. So they worked really, really hard to put us in a really good position to start preseason.
Yeah, and it is the deepest team that Georgia Tech has had under Michelle. Starting off with junior Julia Bergmann. She was an AVCA All America honorable mention last year, unanimous first team All ACC selection. The Munich Journey native had 269 kills on the season, second on the squad, as well as 186 digs, led the team with 30 aces. Really emerged as one of the top players, not only in the conference, but nationally with that All America honor. We spoke with Julia Bergmann about her offseason training.
Definitely working on more range of shots or like people. I've been playing here for 2 years, so people like got to know my game, and I think I have to learn how to play some new things, have some yeah, new things against these big teams, and I think that was really important. And I worked on this off season.
And the good part for her and the rest of the team, it is a veteran roster. As I mentioned, she returns as well as a lot of outside hitters, her middles, everything comes back. We asked her about this veteran roster and how it impacts this upcoming season.
It really helps to have played with each other for so long. I think we know there's a big connection between setters and hitters and between passers, and I think that really helps with knowing who you're playing with and just knowing the plays, knowing which ball your teammate takes, which one you take. And I think that's a big advantage for us to be able to have this connection with everyone. And also with the new girls, I think they really matched with us, and it's a really good group, and they learned quick how we play. And I think we have a really good entire group. So with one person, we can play with everyone, and I think that's going to be really good this season.
And one of her top teammates on the outside will be senior Mariana Brambilla, who was also who was All America, named to the third team, and also, well, she was also unanimous first team All ACC. And those two players, Bergman and Brambilla, were all ACC preseason selections as well. But Mariana moving up the charts as far as all-time kills. She had 270 last year, and now she has more than 1,100 in her career. She has emerged just as one of the top players, similar to Julia in the conference and nationally. Here is her offseason training and what went into it.
It's been really good. I think we did a really good job into knowing the new girls, into doing our practice and try to work as hard as possible. So we could improve a lot in condition and we would go every day to the gym and just really focus on our work. So I think it was really good, especially as a team perspective, because we were able to know the girls and just introduce everybody. So we did a really good job with that, I think.
And she's entering her senior season and has been really a part of this class of upperclassmen that has developed a team from finishing middle of the pack in the ACC to contending for the conference championship and making appearances in the ACC. Oh, there's no ACC tournament, in the NCAA tournament. Here she is about her entering her senior year and the growth of the Georgia Tech program.
Yeah, it's a really great feeling because I look back and I see how everything was when I first got here and how we grow so much in those 4 years. So it's really a feeling of a lot of excitement with this really hard schedule. I think, as the girl said before, we have like a really good team. Everybody's ready to play. And it's just like a really, really good feeling, excitement, and just can't wait to play and to see where we go this year. But as like we always say, it's a new year, so we start from zero. So nothing that we have done in the past matters because we start from zero. Everybody starts in the same spot. Everybody starts from the same place. So we got to start building everything, and it's all new. So every game matters. And
you also have senior Michaela Dowd as an outside that's going to be a major contributor for the team. The two top middles will be Kayla Kaiser and Aaron Moss as far as that front line. Senior Maddie Tippett, the senior libero, she comes back, for another season. So she's going to be a major contributor for the team. Here is Tippett on building from last season's success and carrying it over into the 2021 campaign.
That volleyball is always evolving and that taking our game and this program to new heights with this group and this new group, I think is so important because in the past couple of years, especially with this senior class, like we haven't been able to do that in the past, and just giving us more experience in tight situations and like big matches is a really cool thing to be a part of, and just helping this program to elevate and continuing to level up each year.
And a big thing for her and a lot of the upperclassmen is acclimating some of the freshmen and newcomers to the program. Here she is on getting the entire team together and helping to build the Georgia Tech program.
So when all the new kids got here this summer, we the older class, the senior class and the junior class really tried to acclimate these younger group into making sure that they know that if you're new, it doesn't really mean anything. You still have the same value on this team and you have a role to be played. And just like creating these connections with all the girls, no matter class or age or position, has been like a really big thing for us. So we worked really hard this season or this spring and summer to like get connected and work really hard when the coaches weren't around to be at a top level before the coaches could even enter into the gym.
And then you rounded out with the setters. Senior Maddie McKissick, she was the second team All ACC setter last year. She comes back. We saw sophomore Isabella D'Amico play a lot last year, especially in the beginning of the year when McKissick was dealing with injuries. So both those players will be in the rotation pretty much throughout the entire year in that setter spot. As mentioned, Georgia Tech opens the season at the UCF Challenge on August 27th, facing nationally ranked Penn State, followed by Central Florida, the host of the event, and St. John's. They face one of the more probably one of the more competitive non-conference schedules in all of college volleyball. They face Long Beach State, UCLA, Mississippi State, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. in their non-conference slate even before they enter ACC play. Here is head coach Michelle Collier on the challenging non-conference schedule.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to challenge ourselves. I think that we finished last year playing some good volleyball and knowing that we were returning, good part of that team. I didn't want to shy away from the competition. I felt like we needed to continue to challenge ourselves to play tournament teams and to continue to push forward towards our goals of continuing to be as good as we can, of winning championships. And so to do that, you have to continue to play those teams, and they have to challenge you so you can keep growing. And so I think that was one of the main things. Is I really wanted to have a strong schedule, strong RPI schedule, to help us continue to build on what we were able to do last year.
Yeah, and that wraps up this edition of Fighting Peaches as Georgia Tech prepares for the start of its volleyball season. Make sure you go to the sportsinquirer.net all throughout the year for updates and content on Georgia State volleyball and other volleyball programs and all of college football, college athletics over the next few months. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.